It Happened on the Job, the podcast for relatable conversations with contractors. Sponsored by Goodman Insurance.
Welcome to It Happened on the Job. We are your podcast for relevant conversations with contractors, hopefully bringing a little entertainment to you as well. My name's Mike. That's Brian.
Hola.
We are episode 42 today. With us today is Gabe. I didn't ask how to pronounce your last name.
Ponce.
Ponce. Yeah,
that's what I was going to go with. I just didn't want to assume.
Like Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon.
That's what I always tell people.
Perfect.
People, growing up, they say Ponce.
Ponce.
They want to
Ponce.
highlight
That's the gringo in us.
Yeah. Ponce or Ponce. Ponce is more gringo.
Yeah.
That's the
Ponce.
gringo way.
I actually thought it was Ponce. So
Of course.
yeah.
But it's just Ponce.
Ponce.
Ponce. And it's French, believe it or not.
Is it really?
No kidding.
All right.
It's French. At one time, all Ponces were Ponce de Leon.
All right.
Yeah. But
Is that like a count kind of thing? Like
No, it's just because I
nobility?
think
It sounds very.
over the years they didn't like what the guy stood for. Obviously,
Oh, okay, all right.
raping and pillaging,
That's bad. Yeah.
nations, enslaving the Mayan Indians and everybody else that he's done.
Apparently,
So
we're your history podcast today as well.
Man,
Yeah.
We had to pivot at some point, right?
So that's kind of and I've just heard that through the annals of time, just talking to different people that are Ponces also. So they could have been lying to me. So
Yeah,
who
you never
knows?
know.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, you're with Precision Landscape now. Is that correct?
Yes, Precision Landscape
perfect.
Services.
So give us a little history, kind of how you got started in the industry and the road to where you are now.
Well, I've been doing this for 20 years. I started in the industry actually pushing a mower, swinging a pickaxe, and trimming trees, doing pretty much the daily grind.
Yep.
Doing that with my dad. Started off, I grew up on a 5-acre ranch, so we had a lot of
In California?
Yeah, in Woodcrest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a rural area out there in Riverside County. Now it's exploded. You can't find 5-acre ranches out there anymore.
I was going to say.
But every day, every weekend, it was always something to do in regards to landscaping. And my dad had a little route that he would do on the side. It's like my dad worked a Monday through Friday gig, and then on the weekends he decided to pick up a 30 count homes, to go out and mow. And so I was his free help.
There
And
you
my
go.
brothers.
We can't pay you. That's child labor almost.
So, growing up and helping my dad out and, kind of, enjoyed doing it, pushing a mower. It was a lot different back then than it is now. So I've always enjoyed kind of working outside, and had an opportunity to go work for a gentleman by the name of John Torres, and he had a fairly large outfit in Riverside, and I started working with him, making peanuts, digging trenches. And I knew at that time, pushing a mower, digging trenches, that wasn't exactly what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Like, I don't want to be picking, swinging
In the
a
field
pickaxe
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Even though I enjoyed it, it's backbreaking work. It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, next to roofers and street pavers, landscape technicians they're out in the elements every day. You know, when you work on a job site, there's always, if you're a plumber or electrician, there's always that. Okay, once the building gets up, then I get to go inside.
Air conditioned.
Yeah.
Nice.
Landscape
I
is up.
always think it's crazy. You see them out there and they've got like same thing with the street pavers and all those other, like full sleeves and long pants, and it's like 95 out, and you're like, what do you? But then you realize, like, well, you can't be in the sun all day every day. It's going to kill you. But just crazy.
Yeah. Going through high school, working, with my dad and that, I kind of, have a job. I kind of worked in the food industry. So the food industry and landscaping were my two major, I guess I would say, the two jobs that I did, growing up. So when I was working with John Torres, after I left him, I went to go work at a restaurant, and we actually opened up a restaurant here in Foothill Ranch called Miguel's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just shut
right down the
down.
street.
It just shut down,
Yeah.
So I opened that restaurant with the Vasquez family. And,
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I worked at, it was hospitality industry, obviously I was a manager, and one day I ran into a friend of mine who knew me from working with John Torres, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm working in the restaurant." He goes, "Why don't you go work? You work for John doing landscaping." I go, this is
air conditioning. I get to eat for free.
Yeah. But I enjoyed landscaping. I still did it. I had my own little route. I took my dad's route, and I kind of did it on my own. And so on my days off, I would mow lawns. I'd mow people's houses, and had a couple of installs, sprinkler repairs, and things like that. So he had said, "Hey, why don't you come work for me? I'm working for a big outfit here in Orange County, and I can use a supervisor." And I'm like, "All right." So
supervisor sounds good.
Yeah. He goes, "You can come. You're managing people here. You can come manage people over there, and landscaping." And so I told him, why not? And so I went and did that. Worked with them for a few years, left, and then went to go work for another landscaping company, and they went back to that other original outfit. Left them again, went back to that other company. So the two companies, I went back and forth for a little bit. And what was great is that, when you work for two companies, everybody does things their own way.
Yeah.
And you learn from, different, leadership roles. And so I learned, just trying to...
You can cherry pick the good things from each one. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's funny because everybody kind of, like I tell my clients too, I go, "Listen, I'm not going to mow your lawn any different than the other guy. I'm not going to trim your hedges any different. I'm not going to trim your trees any different. You're going to get me. You're going to get me and following through pretty much." And, working with that company, everything was going great. And 2017, they decided to sell. So I had a decision to make. I got to go back and rebrand myself with my clients and have to promote a new company. At that time, I'm in my 40s. I'm like, do I really want to do that? I don't have that desire to do that, to go and, have to, push another company that could do what this other company just did.
Right.
And I understood, the owner, I respect him a lot for, he had to look out for himself and, his family, and, it happened. But I made a conscious decision at that point. I go, I'm going to talk to some of my people, some of my friends who are business owners also, and I'm going to kind of gauge where they're at and just ask them their opinion. Like, would you, if you were me would you start your business? Would you start over, yeah. And they kind of told me, this: if you do, this is what you need to do. And I followed kind of those guidelines, those steps. It was actually just 3 steps. And they said, and don't plan on making any money until 5 years.
Sounds great.
Hopefully they told you that before you got started.
Yeah, they did.
Not an oh, by the way.
They go, if you could just put your nose down to it. So I'm like, I have no problem working hard,
right.
And I'll just push it. So I went to my clients and I said, hey, listen, I'm going to be leaving and I'm going to be starting my own business. You stay with who you're with, and but if there's ever an opportunity in the future, I'd like an opportunity to be able to help you out. And it was like overwhelming, how much opportunity that I was given. And that's how I started Precision Landscape. So the day that they sold, the day that I found out that we were selling, I went down and I met with John Torres. Hey, John. And the first thing when I walked up to him, John's been at it for years. He goes, buy my company. And I go, really? He goes, I'm tired. I'm in my 60s. I want to retire. I go, you know what? Let's have dinner. So him and I sat down and we talked and we came to an agreement. And that's kind of how Precision Landscape Services became. It was at one time John Torres Landscape. Yeah. Now it's Precision Landscape Services.
So you kind of started on his own, then just kind of took a lot of his clients and all those other things. Yeah.
Well, not really his clients. John, he was a much smaller book of business. And at the time, I had no business. I mean, my one account was $1,950 a month. Now we're doing $120,000 a month in maintenance. Wow. And then we're doing installations, we're doing extras, irrigation, tree trimming, all that. So I kind of took what John had kind of taught me and then brought his work over. And then now John is part of my organization. So it's kind of went full circle how I started.
What is he doing for you? What role does he have for you?
John is
aside from mentor and
John is the guy that's going to go and make sure the guys have all their tools, and he does quality control also. But I have a branch manager who oversees all of my crews. Her name is Jessica Hernandez, and I was able to bring her over from the company that I was working with. She, wasn't really thrilled with the direction they were going, so she decided to come on board with me. And then hiring another account manager named David Rosales. And it's, as I've brought people in as the company's been growing. And it's been pretty cool because you get to a point where, I have this anxiety or this stress, like, oh, am I going to get this done? I just wish I had one more of me or just a piece of me or something. And I'm thinking, wait a second. Why don't I just go hire somebody? I'm over here stressing out about it. I got to go do is go find that person, show them what I need them to do, and then they can go do it. I
think that's one of the hard things for a lot of business owners is to get over that hurdle of delegating because you want to have control over so much and do everything on your own.
Yeah.
But once you can get past that, it does make life a lot easier.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you're still gonna have the day-to-day stresses, finding the labor, finding the help. I started off with 3 employees, and now I have 30. We have 35.
Jeez.
Yeah. So we've grown in 3 years.
I was going to say, because you've only been in business since, 2018 or something like
3
that?
years.
Right?
Yeah, this will be July the 4th. July the 6th will be 8 years. Be 3 years, I'm sorry. 3 years in business. And so we've been going upwards. So it's been awesome because the one thing that I do truly enjoy is I enjoy employing people. I I don't know, some people get stressed about it, but I enjoy that I'm able to employ people and see them drive up in their new cars or, have weddings for their families and, they get invited to those things and to be able to provide for those families. I'm responsible for them and, get to the point where, you're like, okay, here it goes, from the first check that I'm writing them.
Just shaking hands, shaking as you're giving over their money.
Okay, hurry up and go to the bank. Go to the bank. Hurry up. Go to the bank. Make sure it goes through. But even it's funny I say bank because even in finding the right bank to do business with, that's specific to
all those little things you don't think about.
You don't.
You're
thinking, well, this bank's worked good.
I just want to mow lawns and trim hedges, man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Even for insurance, it's you got to find that company that works well with you and that understands what you're looking for, and because when you're in it, you're really not. You don't have time to think about those other things,
right.
Because you're trying to think about landscaping. You got clients. Okay, what would go good here? What would go good? Then you're thinking about man, my workers' comp, my liability insurance, is that due? You're thinking about all these things.
So many other things.
Yeah, first quarter taxes. Okay. So now I have people that remind me about those things. And so, they'll send me emails. I'm like, I calendar invite me. Job walks, board meetings, whatever it is. And so that's kind of like where the book of my business is I do HOAs, apartment complexes, commercial, industrial, retail, and we don't do any small. We don't do homes, individual homes.
Right. Yeah, single homes.
Yeah, single homes. And it's been awesome. It's been a big blessing. It's been great to see it from where we started to where we're at now, and the new trucks coming in. Now I have a relationship with Ford Motor Credit.
Yeah.
They're able to, finance me vehicles when I need them, and they just bring them to me.
Yeah,
I don't even have to go out there.
Yeah.
I need another truck. Okay, boom, it gets delivered.
It's funny when you finally actually start turning over that hill in terms of the income and the company, and then they come to you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you know what? And it's so funny because when you need money,
it's not there.
It's not there. But when you have money, it's like they know,
and you don't need it.
Yeah, they know that somebody
they come sniffing.
Yeah, they know he has somebody in his bank account. I don't know how they know that, but they start. They're like, man, is that guy? What is that over there? Does he have?
Yeah.
Hey,
well, it's funny you talk about the vehicles. I can always tell when somebody's kind of been successful or in a good situation. From the insurance side, because we get their. We'll look at their auto or whatever, and we get their list of vehicles, and you can tell that they've got 6 2016 Fords, but the VIN numbers are all 3 3667, 3668, 3669. You know what I mean? You see them come out like that, and you're like, yeah, you've been successful. You're doing it right the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
they're ordering 4 or 5 vehicles at a time, and they get them from the factory all at the same.
Oh yeah, and that's
same, yeah.
And it's you feel
it's a good feeling.
It is, and it's a good feeling for the employees because then they know that here they're working for a company that this guy is actually doing what he says.
They're going to give us the stuff we need, and they're going to
And like I tell the guys, I tell all my employees, I go, I want you to come work for me. I don't want you to come with the aspiration of just making a paycheck. I want you to come, and I want you to want this person's job, and you want that person's job. It motivate you, you know?
Yeah.
Because everybody wants, the reality of it is money makes the world go. Everybody's money motivated. And I'd rather, instead of taking as much profit as most probably companies do, I'd rather put that back into my employees.
Right.
And take a little less. I don't need to be rich. I've never been rich, so I have no desire to be rich. I just want to be comfortable, take care of my family, and that's it. You know?
So speak to the employees a little bit. I've had quite a few clients that do a lot of landscape maintenance, and some of those, a lot of the struggles they see, and because I talk to them about, from the insurance side, we talk to them about hiring and make sure you're hiring correctly, because especially in California, you get somebody in there like a bad egg, and not only are they going to kind of screw you over, but they're going to find 3 or 4 other guys in there that they're going to recruit to kind of build a team to screw you over. And it's so, and so I bring that up because, we talked to them about hiring, and we talked to them about the hiring process and how it should be more than just, hey, I need 6 guys. Do you guys know anybody? Oh yeah, let's. And then they show up on the job and they're doing paperwork at the end of the day after they've already been working for a day. Mm-hmm. And that seems to be kind of, especially with, that seems to be more the case in landscaping than anything else. So how are you? Is that something that you've seen, or how are you kind of combating that?
No, I've been on both sides of that. Where, wow, we got this job. We need 20 guys out there. We got to get them out there. And that's the beauty of. When people always say, man, if this was my company, I would do this and I would do that and do this my way. The way I look at it is, if you're going to hire somebody new, you better make sure that guy knows what he's doing, because in the long run, that guy can be a huge liability for you.
Huge, yeah.
And if you needed him, if you're short one day, he's not going to make that difference. He's not going to be that missing piece that's going to take you to the Super Bowl. So why not come in? We have our guys come in. I like them to talk to Jessica, talk to David, because I'll hire somebody. I don't really like to get in the hiring process, because, guys are going to come in there and tell you what you want to hear. I always tell guys, the guys that come in and want the most are usually red. That's the red flag for me. I got a guy that's coming in and, I can do this, I can do that, and I'll go and here you go. Let me see you turn this hedge trimmer on. Let me see you turn the backpack mower on. Turn on the mower. Do you know how to do the big mowers? Okay, show me. And then,
deer headlights. Yep. Oh God.
Okay, never mind. I really don't know how to use those. But that's good. I tell them, don't feel bad. We're going to train you.
Right.
We're going to before you ever leave here, you're going to know how to work these machines. But I need to know if you really know how to do these. So Jessica will go through, and guys have a hard time lying to a female for some reason. They don't. They won't lie to her. For me to lie all day, Oh yeah, sí, yo no puedo, and her, they're like, oh no, So she'll get in there and she'll ask them the questions that I ask them, and she gets a different answer. And like I say, when we hire somebody, get their paperwork filled out, make sure that we go through a drug screening. I know a lot of companies, are implementing that, but. Just to be on the safe side, And once we get them in, then we'll show us what you can do. Turn on a machine. Simple things like that. Guys, you can just tell by how they're holding them.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't know how to use this machine. Okay, well, then we tell the foreman, when you get an opportunity, train him. I need you to train this guy, But let's start him off at being the rake guy, pulling the weeds.
Yeah.
Because all the jobs have weeds. All the jobs need raking. They need cultivating. They need hula hoeing. You don't need to turn the machine on for that. And we'll keep the guys, that know how to use those machines in those positions. But if you got a little extra time, show them how to do it. It's not like, here, this is how you do it. Go.
Right.
Go ahead and do it.
Right.
And then you have your bushes looking like, the Pacific Ocean all wavy. And your clients are like, what happened here? What's with the waves? It's like, well, it's this time of year.
Yeah, that's a real thing, by the way. I tried to do my bushes last weekend. Yeah, they don't look good.
Because your arms get hit. Like, oh.
Why is it slanted?
Yeah, this machine. It's because they're heavy. They got some weight to it, But across our industry right now, the labor is it's really tough to get, really tough to find. And then what we need to do as an industry, I think, is really focus on the training aspect.
Are you talking about field labor, like guys out in the field, tough to find?
Guys in the field, yeah. It's like there used to be such a huge abundance of field labor. And I used to get stacks of applications like that. Guys would come in and, hey, because you guys hiring, they're looking for a nickel or a quarter more.
Right, right.
Now they want $1, $2 more because companies are willing to give it to them.
Yeah.
And so I try to implement, the training and just simple things. I actually brought something to show you guys. And as an employer, you want to make your employees as comfortable as possible. Typically, companies offer uniforms. I do the same, but I'm trying to keep the employee in mind when I do that. So our shirts are that microfiber.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Long sleeve.
Yeah.
So the sweat doesn't.
The moisture wicking or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't leave the body. It stays on the body.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. The fabric doesn't absorb it.
Oh yeah.
So this keeps the guys, the
Nice and
employees, cooler
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the hats. And I tell the guys, I do this stuff, and I pay a lot for them.
Yeah, a lot more than a cotton shirt or whatever, right? Yeah.
And our hats, so
Yeah, you got the mesh.
we got the mesh,
Yeah.
and it's just to stay.
Airflow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's breathable for them. They're not sweating as much.
Yep.
And
Plus, they look sharp too.
Yeah, they do. And I do the face guard where
face shields,
it
The
covers their neck
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
But it's the same type of fabric.
Yeah. Yep.
It keeps them cool. And so I do those things because I want them to be comfortable when they're working. And a lot of companies, they don't do that, But if I can get, and I want them to know this is.
Yeah, and just
I'm
showing
doing
that
this for you.
showing them you
Right.
take care of them, and yeah.
Well, I mean,
so have you seen that be successful? I mean, are you
Yeah.
relative to other? I'm sure you know other landscapers in the industry. I mean, are you seeing a pretty good retention and?
Yeah, our guys don't. We haven't really had any guys leave. I mean, I had an irrigator who had gotten an opportunity, and obviously, if I had that opportunity to promote him to that position, I would have. But he had came to me and said, "Hey, listen, I got an opportunity. Come work for a company. They're going to pay me this much, and it's to be a supervisor." So I said, "You know what? I'm all for it.
Yeah.
You got to look out for your family.
Yeah, good for
I
you.
hate losing
Yeah.
you, but." That's an opportunity that I can't give you right now.
Right.
And I don't think I think it'll
Not
be,
because I don't want to. I just
and I think it would be foolish for you to pass it up.
Yeah.
You got to look out for your family. And I had two brothers also who worked for me for a long time, and they didn't want to leave me, but they were going up north to work with the brother of theirs, and the money they were going to get paid was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's life changing right there. You got to go make that happen. I hate losing you, but. Because their dad actually works for me. He's my right-hand man. And I said, I hate losing you, but that's money that I can offer you right now. And if I am offering you that money, then I'm doing really well, So maybe one day, but that's big time, you know? And so, tell them, good luck, So it's tough when you lose guys like that, but I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, no. Yeah, I promise I'll pay you guys. Because you get companies that do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. They're like, when? And then the opportunity passes them by.
Yeah.
They can't go back, and here they are working for you. Now they're pissed.
Or you give them that money.
Pissed,
Or you give them that money and to the detriment of the company, and now you're in a bad spot just to keep one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I always try to, give my guys I try to stay up on the pay scale. I don't want them to leave, and someone's going to offer them $1 more or whatever. I'd rather. I have guys that come up to, they're like, how much do you pay your guys? People in our industry, how much? Because I've went to a couple of your guys and I've tried. Hey, come work for me. And they're like, no.
Well, and hopefully what you're doing for them too, from a benefit side, right? Like some of those things, like the shirts and the hats and all the things
and benefits, medical benefits, and things like that too. Yeah. And we give them the days off, vacation time, and all those little things. Costs myself money, but in the long run, it's gonna make.
Well, you're investing. You're investing in your own company by investing in your people.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
And the longer you retain them, as employees, you don't have to keep hiring and then put yourself in potential lawsuits with all sorts of insurance related things. Doubling back though, you had mentioned HOA apartment buildings. Kind of a lot of your big contracts come from there. Were those contracts legacied in, grandfathered in from John Torres? Were those
no? Those were all
that you went out and got yourself.
Yeah, those were all. It's actually what's funny is that the first contract that I got, I don't have anymore. Those contracts that John Torres had, and we don't have those anymore. Yeah. They went out and found someone that can do it, obviously for cheaper, less. And that's another thing that I try to do. If I can't give you, if you ask me to bid your property, and I come out there and I go, okay, it's going to take this much, and well, can you do it for this much? I never try to waver from that price, because if you do,
you're just cheaping yourself. Yeah.
And you're going to be calling me going, hey, what's going on? Right. Yeah. This place looks like crap. It's like, well, I told you if you give me, if you give me this much, I can, because it's all labor. That's all it is. It's
and you just devalue yourself too.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like, I'd rather not, and so.
Well, you set the precedent too, because now they know, oh, okay, all right, I can bargain with him. So he's going to come in high and I can bring him down here.
Yeah, and everybody always tells me that I'm too expensive. I'm like, I'm the little guy. Like, we'll bring him in because he'll be cheaper. And it's like, no. They're like, man, you're higher than the other guys. I go, because that company there has a sales guy who's trying to make commission. And he needs a sale. Yeah. I understand that. So he's trying to do he's hungry. He's trying to do what he can. Try to make a sale. And me, I'm like thinking about, I'm going to have to answer to David and Jessica, because they're going to be pissed. They're going to go, wait, we can't do that for this price. What are you doing? The guys
are
like,
going out there doing it yourself?
Yeah, the guys too are like, oh no, man, mucho trabajo. No, I'm like, no, we can do it. Come on. And I always go out there and I look at a property and I always put myself, like, give me 2 guys or give me 3 guys. Could I do this property, and how long would it take me to do it? And then that's the benefit, I guess, of being able of actually working and doing the actual property, doing the work. And now I'm fat and old, so I'm like, I can still probably get it done in less time than this other company or whatever. So, and still be productive and still make the property look better. Yeah, because that's the key, is making the properties, enhancing them, and then moving on and then trying to. Beautify them by bringing a new plant material, maybe doing some irrigation retrofitting, whatever it may be. And that's kind of like the key, is going out there. And one of my old, a real good friend of mine goes, so many landscapers never look up. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you go to a property, he goes, you never look up. He goes, what's up? Trees. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So when you're walking, he goes, yeah, look up. And then you look up and you're like, oh, look at all the dead branches. And you look up and you're like, crap, that tree's dead. Like we've been on a property walk before, and I look up and there's dead tree, but everybody's like this. Oh wow, the grass and the bushes, everything looks nice. And you look at dead tree right there. Like, wow, I never noticed that, because you fail to look up. So now we go out and look up. now everybody's llooking up.
I have a buddy that's a general contractor, and but every time I'm with him somewhere, in some building somewhere, he's always looking at, because you're right, we tend to look down when we're walking, whether it's our countenance or making sure we just don't trip. But yeah, there's things, he'll point things out. Yeah, you look up, the rafters up there and this and that and this and that. Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's funny because, you get so tunnel vision doing the same thing. So now I'm trying to, teach my people to kind of think how I think and, work the way I work. Everybody's unique because they have their style, and, I don't want them to waver from that. But, I have, rules and things that I'm trying to implement, to make their job easier also. Work smarter, not harder, And one thing that I really push my people to do is walk your properties. It's such a simple thing, but it takes away. It seems like it's easy, but so many people don't do it. It's like get out, walk your property, And then when you get, if you see something, just text the manager, text the board member.
Yeah.
And it's like blows them away. Like, oh my God, oh, you were here? Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. Because you'll get that call where like, hey, when was the last time you were here? You don't want that one.
Yeah,
No.
right.
When was that? Because there's this weed.
Yeah.
And then take a picture of a weed, and the weed's this big. And I go, okay, do you know how long it...
2 days old.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But they don't understand.
Yeah.
They think, that's a month old. Look how big that thing is.
They're called weeds for a reason.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And people, they see a weed. They see a weed and trash. Those are the red flags right there.
Yeah.
Weeds and trash. I tell my guy, get up when you go to a property, take your cafe in the morning, walk around the property with your bag of trash, pick up the trash, pull some weeds, start your day off.
Yeah.
They're like looking at you like, okay.
So good.
That sounds that's simple,
Take it
right?
easy at the beginning.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, that easy, huh? They're like, man, okay. I don't want you to do that all day.
Right, yeah.
The patron said, just drink my coffee all
Drink
day.
coffee and hang out, yeah. So what do you, from a kind of a future standpoint, are you sticking with the property management and the HOAs and the commercial and that kind of stuff? And if so, like you said, you don't have a sales guy, so how are you kind of generating new stuff?
Actually, I do have.
Oh, you do have one now?
I do.
Okay, all right.
At the time.
At the time.
Is this David?
Yeah. No, her name's Desiree.
All right.
Yeah, I have a sales and vice president of sales and marketing. I have, and she's actually my fiance.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
That makes it
In
easy.
the family.
Yeah. So I was actually. Was because of the whole COVID and coronavirus, thing. She had lost her job. They had furloughed her, and so she was unemployed. So I'm like, why don't you just come work for me? She was like, you can't afford me. I go, that's true. That's true, but hopefully I can get a good discount. And so we figured it out, and we came to an agreement, and she came on board, and now she's gotten some opportunity right off the get-go. And the goal is to I'm trying to grow really just mainly in the Inland Empire right now.
Yeah.
And I've taken work in other areas, and it's caused during the course when you start growing. I mean, we grew really fast, and it can cause some labor pains. And
Well, especially if you only have one or two account or one account way far away, it kind of screws your day out.
It does.
Yeah,
It does.
It's a time killer.
And those one accounts that you're like kind of going out on a limb to try to do, they end up affecting everything because they're the ones that are never happy, even though you're
the highest maintenance.
you're putting so much into them.
Yeah.
You're trying to make them happy, and
It's almost like you got to wait till you got multiple in one area, kind of that you can kind of sign up at the same time.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's kind of like where we're at now. We have an area that we're specific in, and trying to grow there, trying to get that market down, and move on to the next area, the next territory, then start growing, branching off with the people that we have, promoting and developing, new talent, new people. And who knows, I always say that, I want to do this till I'm 55. I'm 44 right now. So I'm thinking, okay, that's 10, 11 years. And I'll be, ready to retire.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right. Hopefully, knock on wood, right?
Yeah, but by the way our growth is growing, our growth is going, and the numbers that that I envision to being at, because when I used to work for these other companies, that's what I would do. I would go into a market and help build the branch up. Working in Northern California, doing that, working in the Inland Empire, doing that, and so now I'm doing it for myself. So obviously, there's more motivation there, but I'm trying to be very. I don't want to take work just to take it.
Right.
I want to make sure the work is good work, and that because everybody this industry is so relationship driven, and I might work good with you, I might not work good with you, but I want to work with the people that want to work with me,
right,
and not the people that
don't want to force things that
and so that's the benefit of owning your own business, is being able to kind of not be choosy, but just because some people are just looking to kind of save a buck.
Right.
And I don't want to be that company that's going to help you save a buck. If I could save you a buck by lowering your water cost, by, utilizing, less manpower, by implementing, maybe drought tolerant, low, water usage plant material, things like that, But if you have this huge Disneyland property and your budget's Knott's Berry Farm, you know. it doesn't have, you know, or you might be paying, you know, Scandia or whatever Castle Park prices, you know, whatever. Scandia. You know, because people are like, you know, we want this, but like, but you guys only have a budget right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do it for that, you know. And then those are, like I said, those are unfortunately the customers that are never happy.
Right.
But I have a really strong group of customers, you know, board members and property managers and, you know, executives, you know, with different property management companies that, you know, that they understand, and we just got a good working relationship and trying to build off of that, you know, with other companies and even within those companies.
Yeah. So you mentioned a little bit the COVID and all that situation. Did you see any kind of slowdown? I can't imagine for what you guys do, you saw much of a slowdown at all.
On the maintenance side, no.
Right.
On the installations and enhancements, yes. We went about almost 2 months with
no
nothing.
Work at all.
No plant installments, no nothing. And then
is that just because people were just kind of frozen and didn't know what to do?
Yeah. Well, you know, what do we do? What's going on? You know, and as soon as you know as soon as the regulations kind of as soon as you know everything kind of started opening up, started letting people go out, and people were starting, okay, let's start planting.
Right.
And they all did that at once. So you're like,
real busy, real fast.
It's like, okay, we can get this in here, we can get this in here, and then you know this project's going to be going, and then we're trying to, you know, be choosy here, and it's just I want it now, you know, plant my colors now, put the plant material in now. So it's like, okay, how are we going to do this, you know? But it's just one of those things, you know, the challenges, you know. Yeah. But then when you accomplish it, when you're done, it's like you sit back and go, oh wow, that looks really nice.
Yeah, got it all done.
Yeah, and it's awesome because I just got a text message the other night from one of my board members who sent me a picture. We just remodeled his the monuments, and it was pretty cool. He just said, "Hey guys, check this out," and he sent it to me and the property manager, and it was kind of like a little kudos.
A little kudo, yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, thanks," you know.
Have you seen any influx of prospective new hires from companies that may have been laying off or closed up or anything along those lines?
You know what's funny is that when I worked in the restaurant in the restaurant industry, I had some cooks that worked for me, and they would work for me on the side because I always was mowing people's lawns, and they had asked me, "Hey, do you still do landscaping?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Could I work for you?"
Oh, because all the restaurants have been shut down.
All the restaurants had closed, so he came back. One of my guys, he had come and he had reached out to me, and I brought him on board, and then I brought a couple other guys who were working in LA in a totally different realm of work. And they said, "Hey, you know, our companies, they're not, you know, LA pretty much was shutting everything down. Can we come? Do you have work?" I go, "Of course I got work." I go, "Come down, you can work for me." And all three of them have now left me, but you know, I was able to provide them for 3 months with some work. So they were able to help me out. I was able to help them out. Unfortunately, it wasn't long term, you know.
Yeah, that's better.
But I do have some employees that have just come on board because, you know, with the whole COVID thing, some companies cut guys loose, went and found cheaper guys, and the guys that they had are no longer there. So they now have been.
So you saw a little bit of movement,
A little bit of movement, nothing too crazy, but just a little bit of movement.
I guess it's probably different too with landscapers because, like you said, especially maintenance guys. I mean, a lot of that kind of stayed pretty consistent. We've talked to other guys who, you know, some other industries where, you know, some companies completely shut down and then they were still going, so they were able to see, you know, some good quality applicants and labor come in. But I assume probably a little bit different for you guys.
I'm glad that we are, I guess, considered an essential business, right? Because, you know, closing down, I couldn't even imagine that. You know, that it would be that would devastate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, any new company, especially me. I'm 3 years in, and you know, hey, guess what? I'm not going to go to work now. Yeah. You know, my guys don't want to go to work, or they can't go to work. You know, so you know, I'm really glad that, you know, we're considered an essential business. Yeah. You know, we practice we have smaller crews now. We don't put more than 3 guys in.
Well, it's easy for you guys being outside, right? A lot of the other trades, maybe you're working inside in confined spaces, but everything you guys doing at being outside probably makes it a lot easier.
Things down,
all your tools and
all the
stuff.
tools and wearing masks, wearing all the safety equipment that they have to, gloves and everything, and they're just trying to keep their distances also, with homeowners and people like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you have one of a client of mine actually at the GC said that they had, and this was probably end of March. I mean, this is right when everything was really hitting it. He said he was, and they're local, not too far away from here, but he said he was having a hard time getting guys to come into work because they were fearful of getting sick. Did you have anything like that?
No. What killed me was the unemployment.
Yeah,
that's what killed me.
Right, yeah, because they're making a ton of money.
Oh my gosh, that killed me. I was like, I did lose 2 employees to that.
Yeah.
They're
You're not the first one we've heard that from.
They figured that one out, and they're like, huh.
Yeah.
So
they're going to be calling you early August going,
so if I don't show up,
I get paid more.
So if I quit, and the thing is that, like, and that was the one thing too. I spoke to other people that are in this industry. Like I said, I have some mentors I look up to that own large landscaping companies, and a good friend of mine, he owns a really large pest control company, and like when Gavin Newsom, was announcing that, it was like on a Thursday. There was a big industry trade show going down in Disneyland in our industry. And I'm texting him, I'm like, what are you guys going to do? Are you sending guys out? Are you going to send guys out? And we're like, group text, like, I don't know yet. Let's. So then we're online. We're looking, ca.gov.
Yeah.
Are we an essential business? Because what I don't want to do is send my guys out and them get sick. Then now here I am liable, for that. And so, once they deemed us an essential business, then, making sure the guys are taking the proper steps. But once the employees figured out that, hey, if I don't go into work for a couple of days, they'll fire me. So I talked to my attorney and I go, well, what can I do? He goes, you can't, if
nothing. Welcome to California.
Yeah. If you let them go because they're a no call, no show, they're still going to get unemployment.
Yep.
And so, I just, thank God it wasn't everybody. It was just a few guys. And
well, I think you're going to have those regardless, but I think going back to kind of how you take care of the employees and the things that you do for them, hopefully they kind of appreciate that. And because I'm sure those guys understand that they're not coming back, right? I mean, they're not getting a job when they come back. No. Whereas, so they got to struggle to go and try and find and start over. Whereas the guys you got now, you're taking care of them, they know that they're set long term. So
they're like, they think, I'll make my weekly wage and get $600.
Yeah.
On top of that?
Yeah. Tax free?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah. Right. It was crazy.
And they call you in the first week of August.
Yeah. When it all runs out.
July. They say, July, end of July is.
Yeah.
That's it. So you're going to see, you'll probably see an
influx of,
Hey, I got no more money. Can I come back? Yeah. Can I come back?
Gabe Ponce, please.
Yeah. But I wonder how many people have really took advantage of that, I mean,
quite a few, I'm sure.
Really,
I feel like that's an unfortunate side of human nature is to take the easy route.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what's the 5-year plan? I know we know the 10-year plan, right, or the 11-year plan, but what's the 5-year plan? How far out are you guys looking to go from a geographic standpoint and sales and all that kind of stuff?
My next area of growth would really, I'd like to really go out into the Coachella Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just have always, traffic-wise, whether we go out there and purchase a building or what, but it's just, I don't know. I've always kind of been enamored with that area. It's just kind of,
Well, I feel like it's one of those places that stuff doesn't grow naturally, so people do a lot to maintain a lot of those things. And,
they've created their own little. You see when storms come out there, it's just like this little humidity cloud, because there's so many golf courses and homes watering.
Yeah.
You'll see this cloud.
That's funny.
It creates itself, out of the desert. But it's but working out there, then maybe like San Diego, Orange County. Orange County is just so tough because the competition's everywhere.
I was going to say there's a lot of it, yeah. Well, I mean, one of our clients is O'Connell. I mean, he does a ton of the same kind of stuff out there.
I know Kevin. I know them really well, and they've been out in this. They've been in this market.
Yeah,
this is their market where they've grown.
Yeah.
And same thing with the Bemis Landscapes and those companies. They've been in this industry and they're successful.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's want to come out here and try to crack that market and just try to run that rat race. It just.
Well, and I feel like. And I don't know anything from insurance to what we're talking about now, but I mean, I feel like Orange County's already so oversaturated from a residential standpoint that there's not a lot of new opportunity, right? I mean, there's not a lot of new communities going in where you could come in and be, what I'm saying is you'd have to almost compete with guys that have been doing it at that community for a long time, whereas you got somebody something like the developing, like the Coachella Valley, where they're developing stuff. You're not really competing with guys who've been in that development for a while.
Been in that region, or they've kind of had that. They've owned the market, having to go and try to crack that. I worked, like I said, I worked for companies that are based in Orange County. I've always been in Orange County. That's kind of like why I want to stay in the Inland Empire.
Right.
That 91 freeway, man.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah. Literally every job that I've had has put me out in Orange County. It's like, okay, well, here we go.
We'll go with all of
I guess
the rest
the
of the
only nice thing is that, I mean, doing landscaping, you probably start pretty early in the morning, right? So hopefully you get out before traffic and come back before traffic.
I don't know, man. I had a job years ago where I had to drive out to Ontario from Orange County. And, I mean, at 4:45 in the morning, I was driving out to go work in their warehouse. And there was a ton of traffic coming down the night. Yeah.
You're like surprised. You're like,
jeez,
man. These people don't sleep.
Yeah.
Like even like on a Sunday night, like driving down the 91, and you're like, I'm sitting in traffic, like because I'm a Rams season ticket holder. So
I'm sorry.
So we're taking the 91 freeway home one night because I had to drop off some friends of ours here in Anaheim Hills, and then it's like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, and there's traffic. Going into Riverside for that. I'm like, what are these people doing? Like, don't you sleep? We can all be coming from the same place.
Yeah.
Like, come on, people. What's going on here?
Where are your seats at?
Section 312 for the new stadium.
Oh, okay.
So, we've pivoted from history to landscape, and now we're into sports. So, in terms of SoFi, what's the news? I mean, I hear what I hear on ESPN and all that. By the way, if you go to ESPN.com, you get 10% off for your new subscription.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just joking.
So, have they let you guys tour or anything? So, I'll give you my history. I was a season ticket holder the first season they came back.
Okay.
My dad was a Rams season ticket holder for a long time until they moved.
Dad's a very smart man.
Yeah, well,
very intelligent.
I'm an Eagles fan, but I just saw football back in Southern California and I was on board, right? But I hated I hate the Coliseum with a passion. Hate the Coliseum. Yeah. There's
so much nostalgia there.
Who cares about nostalgia? It's the worst place on the planet to watch a football game.
It's not that bad.
It's terrible. So after the first, plus I was up with Jesus watching the game, like up in row 89. You know what I mean? I was on the 10-yard line at row 89. So
that's no good.
Regardless, that place sucked. I mean, trying to do anything inside there, it was always packed with people, and it was sucked. So I stopped after that year, but I wanted to be in it so that I could get into the SoFi Stadium, and I still had the opportunity, but I didn't do it. Long story short, I didn't do it. But have you been able to go out to do anything, or have they shown you anything?
No, I mean when they were first, early on, when we were doing the virtual tours and everything, I didn't want to have to do any of that, so I was just like, listen, I know what I want. I want 4 tickets. At the Coliseum, I had 10 tickets.
Okay.
So like, hey, you want 10 more tickets? I'm like,
no, because I don't want to pay for 10 seat licenses.
And that's what it gets you, that licensing fee. But what's great is that you own your seat, though.
Right.
So, I was hoping for that Taylor Swift concert so I can make some money on my tickets. But
we had Tim McGraw tickets, we had Taylor Swift tickets.
But they canceled
everything.
So I was like, I was gonna actually make some money back, and now I'm not. And Taylor Swift, people laugh, but that woman, that little girl, she sells them out, man.
Yeah.
She sells the seats.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I did get the virtual tour for my seat. It's great. I got 4 tickets. I'm close to some friends of ours who they got seats fairly close to me because we want to kind of be in the group.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting, but I don't know if it's going to happen this year.
Probably not. Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because
Which
they got my money already.
Yeah.
And they're not like, hey, do you want it back? Not even offering half of it. We're going to put it till next season, and guess what? Next season tickets prices are going to go up.
Yeah. So you're still going to owe us money next year.
You're still going to go up, but
yeah.
I'm just excited to be there for the new stadium.
Yeah.
I've been a Rams fan since I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Since I was little.
So you followed them when they went all the way out to St. Louis, huh?
I've always been a fan. I used to go watch them here at Angel Stadium.
I remember.
That's what we had season tickets at Angel Stadium. Yeah.
And that was a horrible stadium to watch football.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one time when I was
But I was a kid, so I didn't care. So
yeah, I bought tickets when we were in high school. When I was in high school, I was a junior in high school. Me and my buddies bought 4 tickets to go see the Rams and the Raiders. We went to Ticketmaster and. She said the tickets we got were like, I want 4 tickets. She's like, oh, $26 a piece. We're like, okay, we gave her the money. We got the tickets. And we're like, what does this obstructed view mean?
whatever.
We get there. We see half of the field here. We're
looking around a pole or around a wall.
Literally just wall.
Yeah.
You can't see anything anymore. And so, but we were diehard and, we're, Rams, let's go. But I cried when they announced that they were coming back. Like, it was that emotional.
That's awesome.
I cried when they won the Super Bowl, and then I cried when I used to be part of, going to, they have the Rams picnic every year.
Yeah.
In Prado, Chino Hills, that Prado Park.
Yep.
Before the Rams were even here. I mean, they were still in St. Louis, and thousands of people going out there. And they started to kind of bring, they developed bring back the LA Rams, bring back the name Rams, not so much the team, but bring back the Rams, and then it just kind of everything worked out great, and Kroenke brought him back. Smart move.
Yeah, no, it's been. I mean, football's fun, so it was good to go to, but just not a. I just didn't like the Coliseum, so I'll go to games at the new stadium, though, of course.
Oh, yeah, it's a new stadium. It's so beautiful. I mean, you see.
I just watched a drone fly around and they got in pretty close, and you can see
the Oculus is what this is gonna be really cool because you'll be able to look down or look up.
Yeah,
it's like right there, that Oculus, that screen that goes all the way
around. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. But one thing I don't like is artificial turf.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, where's Southern California?
Says the landscape guy. Yeah.
It's like, see what Oakland did?
Yeah, they had the one that pulls out.
It just pulls out.
Well, it's the same thing Arizona did
Arizona's
first.
same.
Yeah, that's what they should do. I'm like, why wouldn't they do that?
Well, because that takes more land. I mean, you got to have a runway for that thing. LA is not cheap land.
No, it's like they probably saw that. It's going, that's got a retail space right there.
Or parking at $200 a pop, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't even tell me that. I haven't got my parking pass yet, so I don't know.
It's going to be up there, I'm sure. Yeah,
but that whole area is just going to be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially with the forum there, and they really, I'm excited to see what the Angels do also.
Yeah, they're redoing everything.
Oh yeah, and their plans are pretty,
on both sides of the 57 too. The Ducks are supposed to do their whole thing too. Yeah.
But it's going to be tough because Disney doesn't like to take
anybody else taking over Anaheim.
Yeah, don't put anything nice where it's going to draw people away from us. Get away.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you run before we take up too much more of your time. We want to give you an opportunity to. Kind of plug yourself, your website, your social media if you've got any, or tell the people where to find you.
You know what? Actually, it's funny. It's our website just launched. I had a good close friend of ours. He developed the website. Mark Fergola. That's kind of what he does. He helps with branding and things like that. He developed our website, and we're at our website is really long, and I hate it, but it is what it is. It's all they had for me. It's www.precisionlandscapeservice.com, and we're on Instagram. I think we tweet. Whatever.
We got it all.
Yeah, we're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. So we're on part of all those social media groups. I don't have anything to do with them. But
You got somebody cuter and better to do all that kind of stuff for you.
So people much smarter than myself, right? Because I'm like, I type with my thumbs. Hey, look at that.
It's like Mike over here.
Yeah. What's a meme? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like I sent you a GIF. What?
Oh, what?
No, but we're going to be uploading some content on there that's going to be specific for jobs and specific for time of seasons.
Yeah.
So that's some stuff that I do know we're doing.
Cool.
And that's kind of the route that if I said if we're gonna do something with social media, I don't want to just put stuff out there just to say, hey, we're here, watch this, and just hit it with a bunch of crap. I want to put stuff that's actually you might say,
meaningful, and show your work.
Dude, maybe that's what I need to do. That's why my grass isn't growing.
Yeah.
That's why my plants look yellow, or that's why they died.
Yeah.
People think, I give my plant a lot of water and it's just dead. I'm like, well, because you killed it.
Yeah.
You can kill a plant by overwatering as you could by underwatering it. It's weird that people don't realize that.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I don't know. But no, I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Oh, thanks for taking the time, man. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep in touch.
Yeah,
Be safe out there.
Definitely.
Yeah, maybe see a Rams game.
Yeah.
If they play the Eagles.
Yeah. I know.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you've made it this far, go ahead and give us a like or 5 stars or whatever means you like us.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. And check out our website for more video content and extras.
While you're there, shoot us a message if you want to be a guest. We'd love to have you on.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.